gentlemen, and hi, I'm back. And I haven't been back for a while, but right now we're playing a newly released game for the beta called Dauntless. Now, by the way, you might be looking at me and thinking, oh, he's such a noob, he's got all the recruit armor. No, I actually have a lot better than the recruit armor. If I just show you in here. Vanguard. But anyway, I decided I just wanted to show, like, to give people like a little head start and tell you like how the game kind of works and how each of the monsters, the behemoths work. And first off, we're going to be showing off the Gnasher. So I'm going to do this with the recruit armor, but essentially I want to show the rewards for getting the Gnasher. You get the Gnasher, which has Rage Hunter, which basically means when the beast is enraged, you get 0 bonus damage to it. While this, the armor pieces will give you stuff like Tough, which will increase your health. What does this one give you? Tough again. This will give you Rage Hunter, increases your damage when the behemoth is enraged, as well as that will also give you Rage Hunter. It's kind of a Rage Hunter set, so there's some good stuff from it. But I'm going to try to show you guys with just the regular old build, with just the health potions, just fighting a Gnasher solo, which I probably should be using better armor, because I'm doing it solo. This might take a little while, but okay, whatever. So basically, the Gnasher, and I've nicknamed it Thumper, is, oh, and I forgot, I have a lantern that I'm not supposed to have, but I'm going to keep using it because I love it. I've got the Gnasher here. Okay. So, Gnasher. The Gnasher has 6 weak points: the tail, both of the arms, and tail, both of the legs, both of the arms, and the head. And that's that I know of at the moment. Basically, what each of these parts do is when you break them off, you get a material, Gnasher hide. When you have full Gnasher hide, you can then use the Gnasher hide to make weapons and armor for your character. So that would be how you get the Gnasher equipment and armor pieces, is by, creating Gnasher armor. So there is Thumper, I would nickname him, and I suggest everyone who's starting out to use a greatsword. Greatswords are definitely one of the easiest stuff to use. Now, the reason why Thumper is called Thumper is because of his attacks. He slams a lot with his feet, does a lot of tail sweeps and other things. Like here, he's doing a little charge. But essentially, what I suggest you do first is target the tail first because of those attacks. Those attacks will deal a lot of damage to you, as well as other things. And if you take out the tail first, then it will open up the Gnasher to use a lot less of its attacks. Now, the tail is kind of hard to get around to. I suggest using your rolls and running to kind of try to get behind him, as well as to stay away from his, I suggest staying away from his face in general. Normally I don't go for faces, and that's just kind of my playstyle, is to try and stay away from the faces as much as I can, because a lot of attacks originate with the face, and it's kind of hard to be able to tell when an attack is happening. But the Gnasher, I suggest you cut off the tail first, and how you do that is you straight up just start attacking the tail. And when you know you're dealing part damage is when you slice and you see the white, not white, tannish numbers, and eventually the part will break off. So I'm going to use my attack speed buff. If you're hitting blue attacks, that will not really do anything. Now let me explain the sword a little bit. The sword is a kind of a slow hitting, very high damage, part damage weapon, which I suggest everyone use since it is one of the simplest things to use. But basically what you want to try to do is you want to try to watch for the wind up for each of his attacks and kind of just get ready for him and dodge out of the way with square. Basically, the sword has a special ability, which is its Q ability, which I haven't been able to use yet. It sends out kind of a slash, and I was a little bit too far away, but it'll increase your damage and your attack speed. So I'm going to try to wail a little bit on the tail here. You'll have allies here, so he won't always be focused on you. And a lot of times people very much like to attack the head, and those are going to be the future hammer players. So there we go, the tail broke off and this green thing will fall. You can then pick it up and then pull out your sword. After this, as you can see, the attacks are definitely reduced, the range and stuff is reduced. Afterward, I suggest you start going for the legs. You want some chicken legs. And right now, so what's happening right now is Plumber, the Gnasher, is becoming enraged, and if you have the Gnasher armor, this is when your time to shine really is. What'll happen is the Gnasher will gain increased damage, but definitely it will attack more often. And it is kind of annoying if you ask me. So I just used my ultimate ability right there, my special ability. So there we go, I broke off a leg piece. And once again, I'm going to drink a health potion with one. I'm not going to use any of my other potions that are available to me right now. Listen up, don't worry about it too much. It just means you have 20 minutes left and to watch your timer. When 20 minutes is up, you will be extracted from the fight. Now, you don't want to be doing the blue damage, especially when you're in the first beginning part of the game. You want to try to be doing the tan damage, and that is by hitting parts that are not broken off. So if I, let's say, okay, he ran away now. He ran away, which basically means I have to go hunt him down and find him, which shouldn't be too hard. So let me explain some of the stuff that was going on there. So basically, once you break off a part, you'll start dealing these blue damage. You only want to be dealing, that's called, I forgot what type, that's called basic damage, and that will basically kill, it's one of the things that'll kill the boss. What you want to be dealing most of the time is part damage. You want to be breaking off the parts and dealing as much damage as you can to the parts so you can get more materials. At the end of the game, I would really, you don't really have to, and sometimes I will get stagger damage by attacking the heads. So essentially the Gnasher ran away, so basically that means we have to go and find it again. Now, how do you deal basic damage is my next thing I want to address. Basic damage is dealt by breaking a part and then smacking it. And by breaking a basic part and smacking it, you deal the basic damage. So there we go, we broke off the tail piece, and now I'm going to go in for the head piece, which I think I just broke off. So right now, the Gnasher is becoming enraged, getting kind of angry. You can always see a little bit of wind up in the Gnasher's attacks. Like that, you can see his head kind of reared back. You want to be basically, when you know the Gnasher's going to attack, you want to essentially dodge. And it's kind of it's kind of easier when you're soloing because you know everything the Gnasher's going to do is going to hit you. So like that, I know he's going to attack somewhat. So right now, I've just basically been like, yep, I'm pretty much good with parts. I'm just going to smack the thing. So right now he is running away. He does this to cool down and to have this little moment where he can cool down. He's gonna do something. Yeah, he's going to do a charge. Now, I do heavily suggest swords being the weapon most people use. It is definitely the most user-friendly, being the most stamina-friendly weapon, really. It's got the good enough speed with the attack buff. I'm going to use my potion right here, which just increases my attack speed by 30%. It doesn't last very long. But the basic lantern you get in the beginning will give you press and hold V, and it'll show you where the Gnasher is. You just gotta wait a few seconds. So no matter what, you will get 5 health potions just out of thin air as a supply drop the game gives you. They want health potions to be readily available, not something that you have to make, which is okay, it's understandable. Also, if you press tab at any time, you can see some damage. I personally like just doing the regular attacks with this gun, with this sword. I talked pretty much the entire time. I feel pretty happy because normally I just sit there quietly. So that was a hunt on a Gnasher. I hope that kind of helps explain some of the mechanics of the game, because I'm trying to explain it while I'm hunting and trying to show you as I'm dealing damage. So that was me kind of just soloing the Gnasher, trying to explain some of the things that happen. And then as soon as the Gnasher dies, you get 4 Weapon Arcanite and 4 Armor Arcanite, and then whatever hide you take off, which we happened to take off 4 hide from the 4 parts we broke: the tail, both the legs, and the head. So that was the Gnasher. Now I'm gonna try to explain Danger here, if in the top right corner, if you saw it any time during the match, what Danger does as we're loading in. So Danger, what Danger does is, Danger is very important. Your Danger will go up steadily while you're fighting the boss, and whenever someone dies, your Danger will also go up. It'll go up higher, one second. It'll go up higher when you're in combat. But essentially, how do you lower Danger? Because the higher the Danger, the worse it gets. Because when you get to 100 Danger, you lose some resistance, the boss is going to deal more damage to you, and there are no revives. What does Danger do to you? Because if everyone dies and there are no revives available, you will be returned to Ramsgate, which this is Ramsgate right here. So you either revive or you make it run away. That's how you remove damage. I suggest also you pick up little flora around the map to make potions, because potions are really good. Bulwark potions are the best, and you need the Sky Bloom and the other bloom. So let me show you, let me just equip the Recruit's Lantern real quick, because I'm going to do one on the next one. This is the Gnasher armor right here, and let me equip the Gnasher sword real quick. So this is the Gnasher armor and sword. It's very fluffy, and a lot of the Gnasher armor uses Gnasher teeth as the weapons. As you can see, the kind of, the pommel is obviously Gnasher fur, but I forgot what that one part is, but the sides poking out on the sides before the blade, I forgot what that's called. Those are Gnasher teeth, and then obviously the Gnasher tail as the blade. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. That was kind of like my how to kill a Gnasher, which is really easy, but mostly it's explaining how the game works. Thank you so much. I'll see you next time. Bye.